Your life is short, terrifyingly short. Assuming that you get to live to the age of 80, that is just 4,000 weeks or 29,000 days. If you were to visualize what an 80 years old life look like, it will look something like this, where each triangle represents 1 year. Now, I'm going to be 44 this month, so I will cross off 44 of these triangles. And here is what is left. The blank triangle represents the years that are left of my life. Scary, I know. I have this as a constant reminder of just how short life is, because it is something that we tend to forget too easily, and it is why so many live this tragic scenario, living as if they were never going to die, and then dying, having never really lived. Don't let this be you. So, in today's video, I want to share with you 4 insights on how you can spend your time more wisely and help you understand that it is not just about how long you live, but about the quality of your existence.
With Emmanuel Omotayo Imoru. Let's take a deeper dive into the scriptures. Share inspiring stories. Illuminate your path with the light of Christ.
Hello, champions of faith and purpose. Welcome to Emmanuel Faith Journey. My name is Emmanuel Omotayo Imoru, and here we talk about faith, purpose, and personal growth. Before we dive in, do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. It will only take a second, but it will help this channel to grow so we can continue to spread God's word. Let's dive in. The first step to truly living is to understand what success means to you, because if you don't define it for yourself, society will do it for you. I used to think success was about my job title, my salary, the car I drove, or the size of my house. But over time, I realized that success is not about possessions. It's about legacy. It's about inner peace. It's about living a life true to yourself and impacting others in a meaningful way. And this reminds me of the story of Alfred Nobel, a man who had the rare opportunity to read his own obituary before he actually died. In 1888, Alfred Nobel's brother passed away, but a French newspaper mistakenly thought it was Alfred who had died. So they published an obituary about him, and it wasn't flattering. The headline read, "The Merchant of Death is dead." You see, Nobel was the inventor of dynamite, and his obituary painted him as a man whose greatest contribution was a weapon of destruction. That moment changed everything for him. He realized that if he didn't redefine his legacy, history would remember him only for creating something deadly. So, what did he do? He rewrote his history. He used his fortune to create the Nobel Prizes, recognizing achievement in science, literature, and peace. And today, when you hear the name Nobel, you don't think of dynamite. You think of excellence, innovation, and peace. Now, let me ask you, what will your obituary say if it were written today? Will it reflect the impact you truly want to leave? Take a moment and write 2 versions of your obituary. The one that is based on your current path, the one that reflects the life you dream of living. Then, look at the difference. What needs to change? The truth is, you can't go back and rewrite your past, but you can start today to rewrite your future. The life you live today is shaping the legacy you will leave behind. So, how will you change your story? The second point is to master the art of being, not just doing. There's a powerful quote that says, "Wherever you are, be there." This made me realize something profound. The greatest gift we can give to others and receive ourselves is presence. The feelings of being truly listened to, of being with someone, rather than just around them. This truth is something I've been reminded of often as a parent and as a husband to my wife. The most precious moments in life are really about what we do. the effort who we are with, and how present we are in those moments. Because, let's be honest, you are never going to look back and say, I wish I had strolled on my phone more. I wish I had worked late into the evening more. Instead, you might look back and say, I wish I had spent more time with my family. I wish I had been there for the moments that truly mattered. This is something Bonnie Ware, a palliative care nurse, discovered in her years of caring for dying patients. She asked them about their biggest regrets, and the most common answer was, I wish I had lived true to myself, not the life others expected of me. Many of our patients wish they had focused more on their relationship, embraced the present moment, and spent time with those they love. Many of our patients wish they had focused more on their relationship, embraced the present moment, and spent time with those they loved. But by the time they realized it, it was too late. One day, I went to pick my daughter after school, and I asked her, what was your favorite activity? I expected her to say, playing with her toys, eating her favorite food, or watching cartoons. But instead, she simply said, spending time with mom and dad. That moment was a wake-up call. It made me realize that people don't just want your time, they want your presence and energy. You might tell someone, I spent the whole weekend with you. But did you really? Were you actually there? Or were you distracted? Lost in thoughts, emails, or social media? Wherever you are, be there. So, how can you practice being more present? How can you live more in the moment? Because this moment, right now, is where life is happening. When you master the art of being, instead of just doing, you begin to live instead of just exist. You create meaningful moments and relationship instead of being constantly distracted by devices that demand your attention. Be present, be here, because one day you wish you had been. That leads me to point number 3, which says, be bold in living a life of purpose. In 1994, Thomas Edison research lab burned down in a massive fire. Everything he has built over decades, his experiments, inventions, and priceless work, was reduced to ashes. His son, Charles, was devastated. But when he found Edison standing there, watching the flames, his father didn't seem angry or broken. Instead, Edison said something unexpected. Go get your mother and all her friends. They will never see a fire like this again. The next morning, Edison looked at the ruins and simply said, disaster is just an opportunity to begin again. This time, more intelligently. And at 67 years old, instead of giving up, he rebuilt everything and went on to create something of the greatest invention of his career. Now, what about you? The truth is, most people never live the life they were meant to live because of fear. The fear of the unknown, the fear of not being good enough, the fear of what others will think. You can let fear hold you hostage, or you can boldly step into your purpose. I believe that the purpose of life is a life of purpose, and it starts with you in your day. How can you expect to build a meaningful life if you can't even own your time? Most people go through life with their days controlling them, instead of them controlling their days. But when you take bold action, when you show up every day with intention and energy, you begin to attract opportunities, people, and things that align with your purpose. So, how do you step into your purpose? Number 1, take ownership of your time. What you do today determines the life you create tomorrow. 2, see fear as a signal to move forward. Fear is not an enemy. It is a guidepost that tells you where your growth is waiting. 3, take action. Even if you don't have it all figured out, you don't need a perfect plan to begin. Clarity comes through action. If Edison had let failure stop him, we won't have many of the inventions that changed the world. What about you? If you knew that failure was just a stepping stone, how will you live differently? You were born for a reason. The world needs what you alone can offer. So, don't let failure win. Live boldly. Live with purpose. The fourth point is live with internal purpose. There's a story of a man who spent his entire life building wealth, gaining influence, and achieving success by the world standard. But as he neared the end of his life, he realized something was missing, something deeper than material accomplishment. He had lived for temporary things, but now he faced eternity with certainty. This story is not unique. Many of us chase success, status, and comfort, yet forget that life is more than what we accumulate. It's about what we leave behind, not just in the physical world, but in the life of people and eternity. When you live with internal purpose, your perspective changes. You begin to ask, am I living for something bigger than myself? Am I investing in things that will outlast me? Am I making an impact that will echo beyond my lifetime? Look at the great men and women of history. Not just those who made money, but those who left a legacy of purpose. Martin Luther King Jr., Mother Teresa, Nelson Mandela, Pa Josiah Akindayomi, Benson Dauza, Babalola. These were people who live beyond themselves. They live for a cause greater than personal success. And that is what internal purpose is about. Understanding that life is temporary, but what we do with it can have lasting meaning. Let me just share 3 ways to live with internal purpose. Number 1, serve others selflessly. The greatest leaders are those who serve. Find ways to make a difference in people's life, whether big or small. 2, pursue meaning, not just money. Wealth is a tool, but it is not the goal. Use what you have to build something that will bless others and glorify God. 3, strengthen your relationship with God. At the end of it all, your connection with God is what truly matters. A life spent working with Him is a life lived with purpose. Your time here is limited, but your impact doesn't have to be. Choose today to live with internal purpose. Invest in what truly matters, because in the end, it is not about how much you have. It's about how much you gave, how much you loved, how much you live for something greater than yourself. Thank you so much for taking time to watch. I truly appreciate you being here. I hope today's insight resonated with you and gave you something valuable to reflect on. If they did, it would mean the world if you could give this video a thumb up, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments. What stood out to you the most? Your support helps spread this message to more people who need it. And until next time, keep striving, keep growing, and I will see you in the next video. God bless you.